So I went live to make this video, but my phone died right before I can end the live and save it. So I'm gonna just film it. Hopefully it's brief and upload it. So if you guys saw my video where I talk about I had swollen feet, my feet were swollen because I was wearing shoes for 15 hours or so, like something like that, something crazy. And I wasn't just wearing them, by the way. I was on my feet for pretty much all that time. I'll talk more about that when the time comes. But my feet are doing much better now. And I brought up that I wanted to look into medical marijuana in that video because I've always had really bad periods, right? And I want something that's reliable that can really give me some relief, right? So, man, look, I'm 31 years old. I started my period when I was 13. Sorry if this is TMI, get off the video, please. But if you care, stay tuned. So ever since I had my period's been pretty bad. But it wouldn't be like every month. It wouldn't be every month. I noticed when I would eat more sugary things or just if I would eat less vegetables, like leafy greens, my period would be more debilitating. And yeah, so I also want to note that there's a drug, I can't think of what it's called. It's a birth control type of pill, and women are prescribed it when they want to postpone their periods. Now, generally speaking, if you take birth control on a monthly basis, if you take the pills, there's a week where you take a placebo pill, and that's when your period actually comes. But if you want to postpone your period, what you do is go to the next pack in your next month, and you just continue to take the real pills, and that'll postpone your period until you take the placebo pills. Now, I don't take birth control pills on a monthly basis or nothing like that, so I didn't have that luxury to postpone my period. But twice this year, I opted to postpone my period because one of the times I did it because I was traveling and I had some work to do and I wanted to be periodless for that. And another time, it was because most recently I had the opportunity where I knew I was going to be working like on my feet all day. Like I told you, when my feet were swollen, that time I needed to not have my period to be able to do that job. So I was on the pill, and I did notice that while it worked very well to postpone the period, when my period did come, it came back like with a vengeance, man. Like while there's a lot of good reviews on that medication, I didn't see any bad reviews as far as, when your period does come, it comes back really bad. I didn't see anybody say that, but that's my experience, and I've done it twice. So that's my take. Maybe I should do a separate video reviewing that. It starts with an N. I can't think of the name right now. It's a long name, but it starts with an N. But anyway, it did what it was supposed to do. It postponed my period. But when my period came, it was really, really, really bad, to the point where the pain pills that I normally take for my period were not helping me at all, right? So that's when I decided to look into medical marijuana, because I was doing some research and I did see some young ladies talking about that's what they do for their period because it's so bad. Now, those particular women, they have endometriosis. I don't know if I have that. I did recently have an ultrasound to discover if I have that, or if I have anything, maybe fibroids or anything, because it's not normal to have while it's common, it's not normal, to have such bad periods. It's been a journey, y'all. It's been a journey trying to figure out my period. A lot of women say that their period changes for the better when they have kids. I don't have any kids. And I won't have any kids for the foreseeable future, right? So I gotta figure something out, and I decided to look into getting my medical marijuana card. Now, I live in New York City. In New York State, weed is legal So it might be easier to obtain cannabis card here than it is to in states where it's illegal, where weed is illegal. So I don't know what the process is like depending on what state you're in, but I'm sure if you live in a legal state, it's easier to access medical marijuana. I didn't have to do much to get my card. All I had to do was let them know what pain I had, and they granted me the card. So I had that consultation earlier today. I got granted the card. The card's going to come in the mail in about a week or so. But they, in my email, I have access to a contemporary card, I guess. And I can use that and take that to the dispensary to get my medication. And I'm going to do that shortly. So I didn't go yet. And I'll come back to you guys. And I guess I'll do a little haul and show you guys what I get. So what was important to me is that I get something that's non-psychoactive because I want to be able to function. And I know me, I've smoked weed enough times in my life to know that I can't like function. I can't function. I can't get work done. I know there's a lot of people who, they smoke in the morning, wake and bake and all of that, and they get productive. That's never been me. I've never been able to do nothing like that. So I want to make sure that I get non-psychoactive. I know some of y'all are probably gonna say, Keisha, you're getting the wrong strain. I understand that, and I'm not trying to experiment with the different strains of all of that. I don't want to be high. I don't like getting high like that. Okay. So I learned that THCA is a non-psychoactive compound in cannabis, right? It turns into THC when you heat it. So so that's a fun fact, right? I didn't know that you could take cannabis besides like CBD. I didn't know you could take, cannabis and not get high. So I'm looking forward to going to the dispensary and finding out about like different things I can use. Tinctures. I'm looking into tinctures more, or vapes because I don't want to smoke. So with that being said, I will definitely come back to you guys with like a haul of what I get, and let you guys know what my experience is like taking it and how it's helped. If it's helped, hopefully it does help, and then most likely that'll be in January because that's when my next period will be, in January. So yeah, I do need to essentially that's that'll be like a way to relieve pain, but it's not going to get rid of the cause of the pain, right? So that's why I'm going to doctors. That's why I got the ultrasound. That's why I'm trying to figure out like, is there something wrong with me? Do I have fibroids? Do I have endometriosis or whatever? So I can work on that, because at the end of the day, putting a Band-Aid on whatever ailment you have is cool for a temporary solution, but like if you really want to get to the bottom of what's wrong with you, then you gotta do more digging and do some work towards healing. So I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, Keisha, eat this, eat that, plant-based that, vegan. Now I've done that. I have done that. And now, while I did notice, when I was plant-based, like fully plant-based, my periods were less painful. They were still painful, but they were less painful. However, the way my body is, and I'm 31 years old, like I've done this. Like I've tried vegetarian, vegan diets several times for extended amount of times throughout my life, since I think I probably first tried being a vegetarian when I was 18, and I've done it many times in the past 10 years, right? And I've come to the conclusion that it is not for me. It's not for me. And I do realize that my body type is far different than the norm. Most people have issues losing weight. I have an issue keeping weight on, and especially gaining weight. That's been my issue. You could tell I think you guys can tell from my videos that I'm a very slim person. When you guys see me in person, y'all be like, oh, Keisha, you even slimmer than I thought. Yes, I am. I'm 5'8", and I'm 120 pounds. Slim AF, right? And that's just my natural setting, right? My default. The people in my family, they're all slim when they're younger, right? But as far as the women goes, they tend to gain weight when they have children, and the men just gain weight as they get older. Like, I don't have any kids. I don't plan on having kids anytime soon. So weight weight is definitely a concern of mine, especially, and it's always been a concern of mine. But when I got sick to the point where I couldn't eat certain things, like in 2020, I had to go gluten free. The amount of weight that I lost, I was down to 109. 109, y'all. 109. I hadn't seen 109 since maybe like freshman year of college, or maybe even senior year of college. Like senior year of college, I was down to like 109 because senior year of college, I didn't have a meal plan, and I was and I was cooking for myself, and I was living on my own. And I was trying to figure things out. I had lost weight, child, senior year. When I look back at my pictures from senior year, I was like, wow. But yeah. So as a grown person, 31 years old, I was probably 29 or 30 when I was at 109, probably 30. And I've been able to come back up to 120, and I wasn't able to get back up until I started putting meat back into my diet. So while I did really, really want to be plant-based, because you watch all the content from like the holistic practitioners, and like the Dr. Sabi this, and the Dr. Africa that, and this, all that, it just sounds really good. They seem to be, so clear and so well, on their plant-based diet. But when I do it, and I've done it under supervision, guys, I'm not just like, playing with stuff. Like, I've had holistic doctors in real life help me out, too, in particular. And I never get the results that I see everybody else getting. And I realize it's because we have different needs. We as humans, we're not all built the same. We're not. If we were all built the same, then I would have issues losing weight just like most people. It's never been my issue, like I said. So I have to just do what's best for me, and I have to eat my meat, especially because I don't know about always, but as far as I can remember, I've had issues with anemia. And like when I was plant-based, eating all the leafy greens in the world, I still had low blood iron. I remember I had got to my physical one time. I got a physical, maybe this was 2020 or 2021. Might have been last year. I had my physical, and I was feeling good. But my doctor told me that my iron was so low that I could need a blood transfusion soon if I don't fix it. And I'm just like, what? But I'm eating all the leafy greens. Like, well, why? What's happening here? So yeah. My point in bringing that up is because a lot of times, they say stop eating certain things for your period. But when I stop eating certain things to benefit my period, while it does benefit my period somewhat, it makes me lose so much weight, and I don't have that weight to lose. Like I said, when I got sick and I couldn't eat certain things, and I dropped down to 109, that's severely underweight for my height. Okay, I'm 5'8". Like, that's very, very underweight. And when you're sick, it's better for you to have some more weight so that you can afford to lose weight. Like, like when you go through chemotherapy, a lot of people lose weight on chemotherapy. But if you don't have that weight to lose, you're in danger, right? So yeah, so I eat meat. I'm not plant-based anymore. I haven't been plant-based in several months now, but which sucks, because that's something I really wanted. But you know what? Maybe when I'm older, my body will shift to a point where that will actually benefit me. Like I said, like maybe after I have my kids, or if I just age out of being naturally slim, because that happens.